going to go through a sun salutation today. So this is something that you will do in lots of yoga classes, and it's a general warm-up for the whole body. If you want to get a really good workout, you can just do about 10 of these all at once, and that's going to give you a really nice little workout and loosen up the whole body. But it is something, it's a general loosener for the whole body, and you'll pretty much do it in any yoga class that you do. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our feet about hip distance apart, facing the front of your mat. But I'm going to go through it here just so you can see me. So what we're going to do is place your heels together and then turn onto your toes. That's normally about hip distance. You want to have quite a straight line all the way down those legs. That's where it's quite comfortable to have your feet. If you need to have them a little bit wider, just take them out ever so slightly wider. And if you do want to have them together, you can. It's completely up to you. But hip distance is kind of the rule of thumb there. Make sure your toes are spread nice and wide, so they're nice and flat on the mat, so you're not all kind of scrunched up. That's going to give you a little bit of a better base. Make sure your knees are soft. Never lock your knees out in anything that you do. And then we're going to draw our belly button in and up. The way I describe it to my guys is imagine you've got a bikini on and you're walking down the beach and there's loads and loads of really good looking people everywhere. So you kind of want to hold yourself in and up, and because we're going to be talking to these really good looking people as well, it's even more important to be able to breathe. Have a piece of string, attach a piece of string to the top of your spine, and you pull that piece of string up nice and high. That way your spine is elongated. Now, we're going to face the front of the mat with all of that in place, drawing everything in. We're going to take a deep breath in, and we're going to bring our arms up above our head. As you exhale, we're going to fold forwards, coming into a forward fold. If you find that this forward fold is quite tight, you can bend your knees slightly. Just let your head relax. So if you've got a ponytail, the ponytail should flop forwards. The head should feel quite heavy. The aim for the forward fold is to get a nice stretch all the way up the back of the leg and to get that heaviness on your back. It should feel really nice. From here, we're going to come into a halfway lift. So you can keep your fingertips on the floor if you're nice and flexible. Straighten the legs, straighten the back. So the head pulls towards one side, the hips pull towards the other side, and your shoulder blades draw down your back. From here, you can also have your hands on your shins. Again, draw those shoulder blades back. Or if you want to, if you're not too flexible and you want to keep yourself up a little bit higher, pop your hands on the thighs and draw those shoulder blades back and down. So you take a deep breath in here. Exhale, bring yourself back into that forward fold. Now we're going to come into a lunge position. So we're going to bend the knees and place the hands on the floor. Keep your right foot forwards and take your left foot back into a lunge position. So you can have your back knee lifted or you can drop it down. The most important thing here is that your knee and your ankle are in a nice straight line. You should be able to draw a straight line down. If it's too far back, so you're here, you're actually putting a lot of pressure on your knee and you're putting a lot of pressure on your Achilles, and we don't want that at all. So if you are too far back, use your toes and wiggle that foot forwards until you get into that nice straight line. Roll the shoulders back and down. Most people's arms are much longer than my arms, so you can normally touch the floor. And you're going to hold it here and you push into that back hip flexor. So it's a nice little hip flexor stretch. From here, we're going to come into a plank position. So you tuck your back toe under, bring the hands to the floor, take the front leg back, and come into a plank position. You want to have your hands nice and flat on the floor. With your shoulders, the tendency of doing this, you want to push up and away from your shoulders. So that will take any pressure out of your wrists and out of your hands. Draw the belly button in and squeeze the bum. Bums don't push up. It's not a really bad downward dog. We're not holding the ceiling up with our bums. You want to have them in a nice straight line. From here, we drop our knees and we drop our chest all the way down. And we make sure our legs are long and strong behind us. So you can feel your legs. They're not kind of all floppy. You want to have them quite engaged. I always start with a baby cobra first. This is where we put our elbows by our sides and hands flat on the floor. From here, we take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lift the chest, push the shoulders away from the ears. You don't want to sink down. You really want to push up and away. And you want to hold it here, just taking some nice deep breaths. I hold this here for as long as I need to. It's quite a nice comfy position. From here, we take a deep breath in. Exhale, gently bring yourself all the way down. Push up onto your hands and knees. And now from our hands and knees, we're going to come into a downward dog. So we tuck our toes straight under. Push your hips into the air. And try and push your heels towards the floor. If, again, your legs are quite tight, you can keep your knees bent and keep your hips lifted. So this is an option here if you want to. Otherwise, we push our chest towards our thighs, look between your toes or towards your belly button, and make sure your hands are nice and flat. Try not to kind of come up onto your fingertips. If you have got a little bit too much pressure in your hands, take your legs out a little bit wider, and then you can walk your hands back and take some pressure off of the hands there. That's absolutely fine. Now, we're going to come back into our lunge position with the same leg that we had before. So we kept the right leg forwards and we took the left leg back. So the right leg's going to come forwards again. Drop down onto your hands and knees. And just gently bring that right leg through. Knee and ankle in a nice straight line. And again, roll the shoulders back and down. Push into that back hip flexor. And look straight ahead. From here, we're going to come into a forward fold. So we tuck our back toe under, we bring it forwards, come into a forward fold. Doesn't matter how many kind of taps you have to do. So from here, if you want to do a really big one, you can just bend the knee to push it forwards, or I just tap mine forwards and then come into that nice little forward fold. From here, we're going to come all the way up to standing. So we take a deep breath in, bringing the arms all the way up. Placing the palms together above your head. And then as you exhale, we bring it into the centre of the chest. Now we do the whole thing again, but with the other leg in front. Inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, we fold it forwards. We come into that halfway lift, whether your hands are on the floor, on your shins, or on your thighs. It's completely up to you. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, head towards one wall, hips towards the other. Inhale and exhale, release back into your forward fold. Bending the knees, place the hands on the floor. This time your left leg's going to take forwards and your right leg's going to come back into your lunge position. Again, you can keep the back knee lifted if you want to, if that's more comfortable. But knee and ankle need to be in a nice straight line, and we push into our hip flexor. Roll the shoulders back and down. Nice deep breaths. From here we come into a plank position, tuck the back toe under, hands to the floor. Come into your plank position, remember push up and out to your shoulders so we don't have pressure on the hands, keep the hips down, draw the belly button in. If you want to drop your knees and drop your chest, please feel free to. If you want to go a little bit further than that, we transfer the weight forwards, elbows come back, and we do a nice little push up coming all the way down. Again, make sure your legs are long and strong behind you. And this time you can come into a high cobra. A high cobra is absolutely fine as long as you don't have any lower back problems, neck problems. And it can be sometimes a little bit uncomfortable on your shoulders, so please just do what you find most comfortable. Place your hands by your chest and pop your elbows back. Take a deep breath in and exhale, lifting the chest up. Make sure the elbows are nice and soft. You should be able to move them. And make sure your hands are flat on the ground. So again, you don't want to have kind of funny hands. Try not to like make them into claws. Nice and flat, pushing all those fingers into the ground. Push into your little finger and your thumb and lift the chest. We don't want to drop into the shoulders. This is a very bad habit to get into. You want to really push the shoulders away from the ears, opening that chest up. From here we take a deep breath in and exhale, gently bring yourself all the way down. Pushing up onto your hands and knees, we tuck our toes, lift our hips, come into that downward dog again, so whatever feels good for you for your downward dog. If you want to keep your knees bent, you can. And again, it's going to be the same leg that's going to come forwards. So it's going to be our left leg. Drop down onto your hands and knees and bring your left leg through in between your hands. Again, knee and ankle in a nice straight line. If you want to keep your back knee lifted, you can. Roll the shoulders, lift the chest. From here, tuck the back toe under, bring it forwards, coming into your forward fold. Remember as many taps as you need to. Inhale, bringing yourself all the way up, bring the palms above your head, palms together. And exhale, bringing it into the centre of the chest. We're going to go through that fast on both sides one more time, and then you know how to do a sun salutation. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold it forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring yourself back down into that forward fold. Bend the knees, hands on the floor. Keep your right leg forwards, take your left leg back. Come into your lunge position. Back knee down or lifted. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Tuck the back toe under, bring your hands to the floor, come into your plank position. Inhale and exhale, bring yourself all the way down to the floor. We'll do baby cobra to start with. Inhale and exhale, lift the chest, push the shoulders away from the ears. Open that chest up, make sure your legs are strong behind you. Inhale and exhale, gently bring yourself all the way down. Hands to the floor, push up onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into your downward dog. Nice deep breaths. Right leg's going to come forward, so drop down onto your hands and knees. Bring your right leg through, in between the hands. Roll the shoulders. Make sure you've got that nice straight line. From here, tuck the back toe under, bring it forwards, coming into your forward fold. From here, take a deep breath in, bringing the arms all the way up, placing the palms together, and exhale, bringing them into the centre of the chest. Let's go again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it forwards. Bend the knees, place the hands on the floor. This time we're going to take the coming into your forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the shoulders back. And exhale. Relaxing it back down. This time left leg staying forwards. We're going to take the right leg back. Come into your lunge position. Roll the shoulders back. Getting that stretch. From here, tap the back toe under, hands to the floor, come into plank position, hold it there, draw that belly button in. And from here, we bring ourselves all the way down. So knees and chest, or if you want to do a little push-up, you can. Make sure the legs are nice and long and strong behind you. Full cobra. Hands by the sides, elbows back, take a deep breath in. And exhale, lift the chest, push the shoulders away from the ears. Open that back, open that back, open that chest. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, gently bring yourself all the way down, pushing up onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into your downward dog. Left leg comes forwards, gently drop down onto your hands and knees, bring your left leg through into a lunge position. Tuck the back toe under, bring it forwards, coming into that forward fold. Take a deep breath in, bringing yourself all the way up, placing the palms above your head. And exhale, bringing them into the centre of the chest.